Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Nancy Nightly, now morning news show. The only news show where I bring you the headlines, the rumors, the ridiculousness, and occasionally the questions that make you stare at your ceiling at let's say 3 or 4 in the morning, wondering, wait, what if? Tonight's episode is going to be one of those episodes where we're talking about celebrities allegedly selling their souls. The Illuminati, secret societies, symbolism, music videos that apparently contain more clues than a murder mystery. And of course, the internet's favorite question: how do they get so famous so fast? Now, before we get started, I need everyone to understand something. Tonight, we're discussing conspiracy theories and rumors, okay? There's no verified evidence that Doja Cat or any other celebrities we're discussing literally did sell their souls to the devil. But let's hypothetically think here. So, Nancy News is not here to announce that Doja Cat walked into a secret basement at midnight and signed a supernatural contract. I wasn't there. Nobody invited me. Honestly, if there was a brief at the meeting, somebody should have called me, okay? So, what we're doing stories where the rumors come from and how celebrities themselves use provocative imagery, symbolism, controversy, and theatrical performances. Because sometimes the conspiracy is more interesting than the truth, but sometimes the truth might actually be stranger. Segment 1, we're going to call the Doja Cat theory. Okay, so it's going to be called the Doja Cat theory. Drum roll. A little late on that one, Frank. Now let's start with Doja Cat, because if you spent approximately 12 seconds on social media, you've probably seen somebody claim that Doja Cat is involved with the Illuminati. And the internet has produced enough theory about this woman to fill an entire filing cabinet. People point to her music videos, her costumes, her imagery, even her eyes. Demons, dark rooms, strange symbols. She looks even a little bit different now too. The shaved head, red imagery. And then someone on TikTok said, guys, look at this. And then suddenly 4.7 people are detectives. Now here's where Nancy has a question, okay? Nancy has a question here. When an artist deliberately creates disturbing, surreal, provocative, imagery, could it be simply, I don't know, art? I know, it's such a crazy concept. An artist might actually want to feel uncomfortable. They might want to be talking. They might want headlines. They might want people arguing about their video for 3 days. And Doja Cat has built part of her public image around being provocative and unpredictable. That doesn't prove a secret society. It proves she understands attention. And let me tell you something. Attention is basically currency in entertainment. They get money for this stuff, you guys. If people are arguing about you, they're still talking about, guess who? You. Segment 2, we're going to talk about the eye. Now we have one of the biggest symbols in celebrity culture, conspiracy culture, the eye. You know, the one, the eye covered, an eye appearing in music videos, an eye on an album cover, an eye inside a triangle, and then suddenly somebody's uncle on Facebook has uncovered the New World Order. Yeah, but here's the problem, okay? It can represent awareness, knowledge, okay? It can be like surveillance, mystery, protection. Let's see, what else do we think? Protection, spirituality, power, and yes, sometimes secret society imagery. So seeing an eye does not automatically mean congratulations, you found the Illuminati. Sometimes it is just an eye. Now, the Nancy News Investigation Department has officially determined that eyes exist. But what exactly is the Illuminati? Now, let's separate history from internet mythology. There really was an organization called the Bavarian Illuminati. It was founded in Bavaria in 1776, and it was an Enlightenment-era secret society. It was eventually suppressed by the authorities, but modern internet culture has transformed the Illuminati into something much larger, a supposed secret organization controlling celebrities, politicians, entertainments, entertainment, banks, and basically everything else, everywhere else. And that's where things get complicated because there's a huge difference between secret societies exist and a modern secret organization controls every famous person. Those are not the same claim. And the second one does require evidence, not screenshots, not TikTok videos with dramatic music, not look at her hand. We need evidence, you know. So, who else has been accused? Segment 4. Let's talk about some of the other celebrities who have been pulled into these theories. Beyonce, right? Jay-Z, Rihanna, Lady Gaga, so I was going to say. Kanye West, also Taylor Swift, Kanye West, and somehow the internet apparently has every successful musician that has attended the same secret meeting. At this point, I do not know where the meeting is because apparently they're handing out platinum records, which they could be. But seriously, here's something very interesting. The more successful someone becomes, the more conspiracy theories seem to appear around them. But why, do you ask? Because people naturally want explanations for extraordinary success. But someone goes from being relatively unknown to being one of the biggest stars on the earth, and people ask, okay, so how? Is there something behind it? Was it talent, really? I don't like it that much. Was it marketing, money, connections, luck, even timing, hard work, something behind it, a record label, a viral moment, or the devil? The devil. Nancy says, maybe start with the record label. Segment 5, we're going to talk about the price of fame. Now, here's where this gets more interesting. Okay? There is a real historical idea behind the phrase selling your soul. People have used that expression for centuries as a metaphor for sacrificing your values, freedom, privacy for principles in exchange for success. And that is something worth discussing because becoming famous can involve enormous compromises. You may lose privacy. You may have executives making decisions about your own career. You may have contracts. You may have public pressure. You may have millions upon millions of strangers analyzing your appearance, everyday appearance, relationships, clothing, and every word you say. So maybe the modern question isn't, did they literally sell their soul? But maybe it's just, what are people willing to sacrifice to become successful? Now, that is a conversation. Now, segment 6, we're going to talk about celebrity symbolism. Let's talk about music videos. Artists use symbolism consistently. Religious imagery, mythology, angels, demons, heaven, hell, death, God, rebirth, fire, destruction, blood, guts, masks, eyes, certain colors, crowns, dragons, snakes, certain imageries. All of these things have appeared in art for centuries. But why? Because they're visually powerful. Imagine a music video where the artist is sitting at a kitchen table drinking a glass of water. Very safe, right? Very normal, but very boring. And now imagine lightning. Lightning, a giant throne. Smoke, a giant red moon. Fire everywhere in brimstone. People are going to watch that. Entertainment is entertainment. Sometimes symbolism is better because it looks cool. Sometimes it's cultural, sometimes it's personal, and sometimes it's meant to provoke. Sometimes fans interpret it in ways the artist never really intended. So, yeah. Segment 7, the internet detectives. Now, here's where I have to give the internet some credit. Some people are incredibly observant. They notice details. They compare videos. They research videos. They look at timelines. They find old photographs. They notice repeated imagery or different kinds of ways people look in the media and in their songs now. And that kind of investigation can actually be interesting, very. But here's the trap. Once somebody believes the theory, they can start interpreting everything as evidence supporting it. If a celebrity wears black, proof, poof. If they wear white, proof, poof. If they cover one eye, proof, poof. If they do not cover one eye, they're hiding the other proof. So there's a lot of things to be discussed here, but Nancy News calls this out. You cannot win the conspiracy game. We're going to start in segment 8 of the famous hand signs. And then we have the famous hand gestures. Oh boy, the famous hand gestures. Jesus Christ. Every time a celebrity moves their hand, someone online becomes a forensic analyst. This means Illuminati. This means devil. This means secret society. Meanwhile, the celebrity is probably thinking, I was just trying to wave. Some gestures absolutely do have cultural or symbolic meaning, but context matters. A single photograph does not automatically prove membership in a secret organization. We do have to be careful about turning ordinary behavior into evidence. Segment 9, we're going to talk about why do people believe this? Now, this is the part I really wanted to talk about. Why do intelligent people sometimes believe conspiracy theories? Okay. Well, my thoughts are because humans are pattern-seeking creatures. We seek connections, we look for like explanations, and we don't usually like randomness or get involved in that. And celebrity culture creates the perfect environment for that speculation. Continue. We're watching, people become unbelievably wealthy and famous. We see images we're not used to seeing. We don't know what's happening behind what's happening behind closed doors. We don't know every business relationship. We don't know every contract. And when information is missing and you see strange things, crazy things, people would just fill in the blanks. Sometimes they're wrong, sometimes they might be right. And sometimes the internet takes one weird coincidence and builds an entire cinematic universe around it. Segment 10, we're going to talk about Nancy's conspiracy board, okay? Now, we're going to do something different. So yeah, welcome to Nancy's conspiracy board. Ready to get started. Okay, so I've got a red string, I've got photographs, and a sticky notes, and I've absolutely got no qualifications. Okay, and I've got coffee, so obviously we're ready. Theory number 1. Celebrity X wore a triangle. Could mean something. Could mean nothing. Theory number 2. Celebrity X covered one eye. My response could be symbolism, could be a fashion pose. Could literally be because there's a camera right over there. Okay. Then there's theory number 3. They became famous extremely quickly. What do you think? Well, my response is interesting question. Investigate the career history. Don't automatically blame Satan or the Illuminati. Theory number 4. Everyone in Hollywood is secretly in the Illuminati. Ma'am, we need evidence, okay? Just saying. I'll be right back with Nightly Nancy News Show, and see you guys in just 1 second. Thank you.